In Rhode Island, a 56-year-old man entered the emergency room one day, his presence immediately drawing the attention of every person in the room. His skin had turned a deep, unnatural shade of blue. Not the sort of bluish pallor one might associate with someone suffering from a medical emergency, but a vivid, Smurf-like cerulean hue that covered his entire body. His face, hands, and even his lips were tinted a striking blue, and the hue didn't look like a bruise or a sign of oxygen deprivation. It looked like he had been painted with indigo paint. At first, the doctors assumed it was some sort of cosmetic effect or perhaps an external cause, but when tests were run, the real cause of his condition became apparent. His blood was also blue. The condition was so rare that the doctors were left stunned and scrambling for answers. The patient had no history of chemical exposure or any injuries that could explain such a transformation, leaving the medical team baffled. After performing a series of tests and reviewing the man's health history, they were able to pinpoint the cause of his bizarre symptoms. Argyria, a rare and irreversible condition caused by the buildup of silver in the body. Argyria occurs when silver particles accumulate in the body, typically after prolonged exposure to colloidal silver, a suspension of fine silver particles in liquid. It can happen when someone consumes colloidal silver over extended periods, and the particles settle in the skin, eyes, and internal organs. Over time, the silver reacts with sunlight, leading to a permanent bluish-gray discoloration of the skin. In this man's case, he had been drinking colloidal silver for nearly a decade, convinced it was a natural remedy for improving his immune system and treating various health issues. For years, he had taken colloidal silver, believing it would boost his health and serve as an all-natural remedy for everything from colds to inflammation. He had read online about the supposed benefits of colloidal silver, and its reputation as a natural cure-all had led him to use it regularly without consulting a doctor. After all, it was available in health stores, marketed as a safe alternative medicine with supposed immunity-boosting properties. What he didn't realize, however, was that consuming colloidal silver could cause the body to accumulate silver particles, leading to toxic effects that could permanently change his appearance. The man had unknowingly put himself at risk, and after 10 years of consistent use, the buildup of silver in his body became noticeable. His skin began to show signs of discoloration, but he hadn't immediately associated it with the colloidal silver. As the silver particles accumulated, they started to react with the sunlight, and his skin became increasingly blue. The discoloration, once subtle, eventually became so pronounced that it completely altered his appearance. At first, he thought it was just a temporary reaction, but as time passed, he realized that his skin wasn't returning to its normal tone. What had started as a harmless daily supplement had led to a permanent change that no amount of treatment could reverse. Upon arriving at the hospital, doctors were taken aback by the severity of the condition. They immediately suspected silver poisoning, a condition that had only a handful of documented cases worldwide. In this man's case, his condition was caused by the long-term use of colloidal silver, which had led to a dangerous accumulation of silver particles in his skin and tissues. Silver, once it enters the body in excessive amounts, can't be removed, and it begins to deposit in various organs and tissues, leading to irreversible changes. What makes argyria so unique is that it doesn't just affect one's appearance. It also has the potential to cause long-term health problems, Silver poisoning can lead to a variety of symptoms, including fatigue, headaches, and organ damage. But the most striking and immediately noticeable symptom is the skin discoloration. In this man's case, the once convincing remedy he had turned to for his health had ended up leaving him with a permanent reminder of his misguided decision. As his skin gradually took on a permanent blue hue, he also began to experience an emotional toll. At first, his family and friends were bewildered by his transformation, but as the condition persisted, they began to worry. His once normal appearance became a source of embarrassment and isolation. Simple daily tasks became more difficult as he struggled with the reality that his appearance would never be the same again. People would stare at him in disbelief, and he became increasingly self-conscious. The medical community took note of his case as a cautionary tale, and the man's story soon spread beyond Rhode Island. Though argyria is rare, the man's condition highlighted the dangers of self-prescribing and the unregulated use of alternative medicine. Despite the growing popularity of alternative remedies like colloidal silver, many people fail to understand the potential risks associated with them. The man's case served as a stark reminder that not all natural remedies are safe, and without proper medical supervision, they can cause long-lasting harm. As his diagnosis became clear, the doctors were unable to reverse the condition. The silver particles that had accumulated in his skin could not be removed, and there was no treatment that could restore his natural appearance. While the condition was not life-threatening in the immediate sense, the irreversible discoloration was a constant reminder of the dangers of self-medication. The man would have to live with the consequences of his actions for the rest of his life. In the years that followed his diagnosis, the man continued to advocate for caution when it came to alternative treatments. He shared his story with others, warning people about the potential dangers of unregulated supplements and the importance of consulting medical professionals before using any kind of alternative medicine. Though his condition was permanent, he found some solace in the idea that his experience could help others avoid the same mistake. Ultimately, the man's transformation was a tragic reminder of how a well-intentioned decision can have life-changing consequences. His case left an indelible mark on the medical community, prompting further discussions about the safety of alternative medicines and the need for more regulation in the industry. What started as a simple quest for better health ended in a dramatic, irreversible change that altered his life forever. The man who once lived a normal life had become a living example of the dangers of unregulated self-medication, and his story serves as a powerful lesson in the importance of understanding the risks of alternative treatments before embarking on any health journey.